it's Nikki here from Happy Hormones for Life, and today I'm going to be introducing you to the 4 main hormones that dictate how we look, feel, think and behave. Now, there are many complex factors behind hormone imbalances, but these 4 hormones tend to be in control, especially as we get older. And we've got over 100 hormones running around the body, but these 4 have quite a powerful impact. So once we can understand them and how they work and how to balance them, we can really get them working for us and not against us. So hormones are little chemical messengers that are released from your body's endocrine glands, and they travel through the body to various cells, obviously to elicit a specific response and in the body. So they're telling your cells exactly what to do and how to behave. And they're involved in almost every function of your body. So, you know, when I used to look at hormones, I used to think, well, they're just about puberty, pregnancy, menopause, and they make you feel cranky once a month. But they are so underrated. Hormones actually regulate your metabolism, your energy, your mood, the way your brain works, your sleep, your appetite, your digestion, your weight, and so much more, and your immune system as well. And if the balance is out, you can have symptoms in almost any area of the body. So they're really, really important to understand and to know how to manage them. So let's have a look at these 4 hormones, which I call your Feisty 4 hormones. The first one is cortisol. Now, cortisol is one of your main stress hormones, and it rules the roost when it comes to your other hormones. If cortisol's out of balance, you can pretty much guarantee that most of the other hormones aren't going to be optimal. When your body's under stress, cortisol is released from your adrenal glands, and it's part of your ancient survival mechanism, your fight or flight response. And it keeps you alive in times of real danger, like being attacked by a lion. But in modern times, not that particularly that useful or relevant, because we're not being attacked by lions, but we have micro stresses going on all day long. So our evolutionary stress response can be a problem if we don't get to switch it off, which we used to be able to do. We used to go back to our man caves and rest and recover from the attack. But these days, we don't get to switch off very much. So one of the main symptoms of a cortisol imbalance, well, you're going to feel wired, tired, overwhelmed, foggy, over-emotional, anxious, kind of flat or low motivation, irritable, snappy. You might have that belly fat around your middle that you just can't shift. And obviously your sleep can be affected as well. So what do we want to focus on if cortisol's out of balance? We want to focus on rest and stress management, switching off daily, sleeping well, getting those supplements in to support your adrenals, which can be a mixture of adaptogens, vitamin C, magnesium, B vitamins. All of them get very much depleted when we're majorly stressed. We're really trying to manage our stress and get rid of it where we can. Obviously, you know, not that easy, but we've got to prioritize that self-care that we've been talking about and that daily switching off. The second hormone is insulin. Now, insulin is a hormone secreted by the pancreas, and it controls our blood sugar. Often when there's too much sugar in the blood, so if we eat too many carbohydrates or sugary foods, then it goes around and turns that sugar into fat, which is why I call it the fat storing hormone, and why generally a diet high in carbs and sugar is likely going to make you gain weight. Now, the main symptoms of an insulin imbalance or blood sugar imbalance are when you have a high waist to hip ratio, so your waist is bigger than your hips, or you have that mid-afternoon slump where you just literally want to lie down and fall asleep, or that middle of the night wake up, that 3 o'clock in the morning wake up when your blood sugar might be a bit low. Or you feel kind of hangry, mixture of hungry and angry. You might have extra PMS or excess thirst or sugar or carb cravings. These are kind of key signs of a blood sugar imbalance. What to focus on if you've got those kind of symptoms? You want to be making sure that you're getting enough fat, protein and low glycemic carbs for your main meals. So grazing is not going to help you because that's going to produce more and more insulin. You want to be eating nice, full, balanced meals 3 times a day if you can. Now, if you feel dizzy or faint between meals, then obviously have a snack, but make sure it's kind of protein, fat based, like nuts or seeds, something like that, or hummus or something like that. But really looking at getting enough fat and protein in your main meals, because that's what's going to fill you up and stop those and keep your blood sugar nice and stable. So obviously getting off the sugar and the refined carbs is going to help, and alcohol as well, if you can limit that, because that's just going to mess with your blood sugar as well. The third of your Feisty 4 is thyroid. Now, thyroid is your metabolism regulator. It either turns your metabolism up so that you're fat burning and you're full of energy, or it turns it down so that you're fat storing and you're in energy conservation mode. It's like a switch on your cells, and for most women it tends to be low rather than high, making everything kind of just slow down. So your main symptoms are fatigue, bordering on exhaustion, weight gain that you just can't shift no matter what you do, feeling cold, particularly hands and feet, hair loss, dry itchy skin, brittle nails, brain fog, low mood, anxiety, constipation because your bowels are slowed down, all of that kind of stuff. So what you want to focus on with that is getting those nutrients in. So thyroid needs lots of amino acids, proteins, lots of minerals. So I'd get yourself on a really good multivitamin, which I'll put a link to. You want to focus on stress management as well, because stress has a big negative impact on your thyroid. And if your thyroid, if you have a condition already and it's autoimmune related, you've got to be focusing on your gut health, which is a whole different topic. So what I suggest with thyroid, if you have any of these symptoms, you probably need to properly get tested. And on the NHS, testing is a little bit limited, but at least get your TSH, T4 tested. And we do proper comprehensive thyroid testing if you want to talk to us about that. The fourth of your Feisty 4 is estrogen. Now, obviously, that works alongside progesterone. They're both very important, but I'm focusing on estrogen because the symptoms are easier to explain. Estrogen is obviously our female sex hormone. It's responsible for all our curves and our ability to have babies and all of that stuff. But it's also really vital for your brain health, your mood, your energy, your weight, and your bones and your heart. So really critical. Now, we can have symptoms of too much and too little estrogen, especially as we get towards that perimenopausal stage of life. Too much estrogen can result in PMS, bloating, weight retention, irregular or heavy periods, mood swings, hot flushes, brain fog, memory loss, all stuff like that. Too little estrogen, mainly you're going to be getting the hot flushes, night sweats, forgetfulness, dryness, particularly vaginal dryness, wrinkles, poor sleep, joint pain, and obviously a higher risk of osteoporosis, heart disease and dementia. So what do we want to focus on to keep this estrogen balanced is, well, if you've got symptoms of high estrogen, we want to be really focusing on liver support and getting those detoxification pathways working really well. So hydration, limiting your alcohol, getting those cruciferous veg in that I talk about, the cabbages, the broccolis, the cauliflowers, really, really helpful for clearing out estrogen. Lots of fiber so that your bowels can move through and get that estrogen out, and also focusing on your environment so you're not exposed to the fake estrogens that can really overstimulate our system. Now, for low estrogen, we're looking at putting those phytoestrogens in, that organic soy, if you can tolerate soy, flax seeds, chickpeas, lentils, those kind of things help to regulate your estrogen. And if you are really low, when you can get tested to find out, but if you're really low, then obviously body identical HRT is going to be really helpful for you to avoid any extra risk of those diseases that I mentioned. So now you know which 4 main hormones are in control of you, you can start to balance them. And my steps, my happy hormone code, steps 1, 2, 3, and 4, go and find the videos on those if you want more information on how to balance them. Now, just to note that all 4 hormones really do rely on each other. They work in a synergistic balance. So when one's out, the others can be affected as well. So you almost also might find that you've got multiple symptoms, and that's often due to several different imbalances, which is really common during perimenopause when hormones are fluctuating. So it's always advisable to get proper testing. We do comprehensive testing of all 4 Feisty 4 hormones and more, so that we can see for sure which ones need the most support. So you can message me for more info on that, or you can go to the Happy Hormones website, happyhormonesforlife.com, and contact us at the contact page. Hope that was useful. I'll see you next time.